Good afternoon, everyone out there on YouTube. This is Jared, and this is my channel, Mazda B3K. In this video, I'm going to film my brother as he completely rebuilds his square body style Ford F250 tailgate. Without further ado, let's get started. Okay, so this is the original tailgate from my brother's 93 F250. It's in really rough shape, but he's not interested in replacing the tin right now, so he's not worried about stuff like this because we're not going to be carrying stuff that's going to be pressing against this. But what he is interested in is making it work again. It's had a hard life. As you can see, hold cables have been cut. This is completely rusted up. The adjuster rods are not less rods, more like curvy suggestions, and the handle mechanism is busted. So what we did the other day is we went to the junkyard and we gutted a square body tailgate that we saw there that had really good internal hardware, and we're going to swap it out. And that's what this video is all about. So that way, if you are looking for a way to maintain the patina or the look of a tailgate, you don't want to replace the entire gate, you don't want to just snag a new gate at the yard or whatever, and you just want to replace the guts, this is the video for you. First thing to happen in our case is we're going to go ahead and get the handle mechanism out. It's a pair of 10mm nuts that hold it in. So just get that out of your way, and then the business end of the handle mechanism, not latch, but handle, it'll come up and out, and then you can lift the tailgate up a little bit and then remove the handle part. In this case, the handle part is gone, so check. Next step is to remove the latch assemblies, and what this also lets you do is these rods, they come into an S shape under this metal, so the rod comes out with the latch assembly when you get it loose. On the tailgate that we rated all the parts from, these were Torx, but on this particular application, either it came as a 10mm or somebody replaced it with a 10mm. In either case, that's what's needed to get this latch out, and we'll repeat this process on the other side of the tailgate. Okay, so when you go to reinsert the latch and rod, the latches are directional. Left will have L stamped on it. See, stamped a couple places. R will have R stamped on it. And keep in mind when you reinsert that you're going to be taking this little guide thing. So I guess it's a support for the rod. And you're going to be inserting it, I think, right here. Oh, there. Okay. Goes in there. So keep that in mind when you reinsert. If your old hardware is okay, you can reuse that. If not, we also grab hardware from the tailgate we rated from to put this all back together. So it turns out those 10mm were the original, so you can use those or use the Torx that we grabbed from. It was a 1995 and this is a 93. So the draw cable is going to go in on the bolt hole that is closest to the bottom of the tailgate. The L will be, or your stamped sides facing outward, and your stack is going to be, if you're using 94 and assuming 94 and up hardware, it's going to be this collared Torx, and then you put the draw cable and then a washer on the other side of it, so that it essentially is going to act as a retainer, so when you get it tight, it's not going to try to back out on you. Alright, so after you reinsert your handle assembly, you can put the actual handle mechanism back in. It's a pair of 10mm, but what you're seeing here is having to do a little bit of adjustment because you've got to be able to sneak those rods into their holders. And those holders are actually adjustable depending on what you got to do. So this is hard mode. The not so hard way to do this would be to put your handle mechanism in first and then run in your latches from the sides. But this will work. Okay, so everything's in. We did have to chew at this metal ever so slightly. I'm guessing there was a small change between 93 and 95. So what was happening was the handle arms could not go all the way back in, meaning the handle go all the way down if you're looking at it from the outside.
Here, I'll actuate it. So handle could go to this position, but it would get stuck about right there. So it wouldn't come all the way back and reset.
Yeah, so some metal had to be shaved away. That's been done. A way you can check your adjustment to see if it's good is come over to your latch and push it down into the locked position, which it goes in that direction. Got it. All right, and then you just pull your handle and see if it will unlatch. Just like that. And you heard that was a double bang, so we got both sides, which means this is good. I mean, if you wanted them to go off perfectly, you could maybe move one of these a few threads in one direction, but this is more than enough for what we're trying to do. So we've locked in the adjustment locks, and this tailgate, at least this part, the latch mechanisms and the handle mechanism are good to go. So the last thing that needs to happen is to put the access plate cover on and the little decorative steel rebar, I don't remember what that's called, but diamond plate patterned steel that goes up here on the top. This is the access cover. So you can see we stole it from a blue square body F-150.
Stole is such a strong word.
That's true, we did pay for it. But anyway, couldn't find a white one, but really needed this cover because otherwise water gets into where all your latches and your handle mechanism are, and then they rust out, and then you're back where you started. So these are Torx. They are T27.
So.
T27s, just get them snug. And then at that point, the tailgate is almost rebuilt. There is that cover that runs along the top edge here, and we'll put that on in a second. And then we're done. All right, what we found with this diamond plate steel was that we think it was like a dealer add-on because it was held in place with self-tapping bolts or self-tapping screws with hex heads. And as you can see, my brother's truck tie doesn't have those holes already, so that was an add-on by somebody, but we desire it, so we're going to go ahead and put this on as well. So we've got, I think it was an 8mm.
Yeah, 5/16.
Yep. And just like that. Now that everything's on, including the steel cap, now the payoff. Comes on down, and then it'll latch right back up when you close it. I call this a good repair. Alrighty folks, that's going to do it for this video where we replaced the guts of the tailgate on my brother's 1993 Ford F250. If this video was useful to you, please like, share, and subscribe. Also, I'd like to hear from you, so leave a comment if you want. I like to read them, I like to reply to them, and I like to learn from them. And lastly, I make the mistakes so you don't have to. I'll see you guys next episode.